Hey YouTube, today I got a quick video about the 5 most common things that will get you hung up at the TSA checkpoint. Let's get it. So starting off in not any particular order is going to be oversized liquids, gels, and aerosols. In the United States, travel through the TSA checkpoint will only allow you to do 3.4 ounces of liquid. That's going to be per item in a 1 quart sized bag. Now keep in mind that's going to be about the size of your travel items at Target or Walmart. So before you go on your trip, make sure to pick up those instead of bringing your full size items. A lot of people don't know that for some reason. They get there, they got a hair gel that's like mine, that's in the size of a gallon jug or whatever. They're going to throw it out and you're going to have to pick it up on location. So I would definitely get the smaller size, or you can buy the small containers at Target or Walmart and transfer it before your trip. Very important. TSA does allow you to keep those mini bottles in a quart-sized bag if you want to take some sealed ones as well for your trip. A little extra bang bang. Just don't consume them on the plane. It's typically against the rules. So a common thing to get tripped up at TSA are going to be water bottles. If you leave one in your bag, they're going to pull your bag and inspect it. Again, it comes down to 3.4 ounces of water if it's in your carry-on stuff or if it's in your purse. They're going to ask you to toss it. If it's in a large container and they scan it, it's got liquid in it, they're going to ask you to empty it. So go ahead and make sure to go through your bags before you hit the checkpoint and make sure you don't have any of that stuff or chug the water. Also, if you're coming in from an international flight or something where you just cut off a plane, you have to go through a checkpoint again, they will ask you to toss it as well. So make sure to consume that water before you hit that point. So food is typically allowed, however, it's kind of a big asterisk as to what actually is going to pass without having to be pulled and inspected. It really depends on the size of the food and the makeup of the actual food. But one pro tip from the TSA agent is if you do have food to help travel, go ahead and pull it out of your bag, put it in its own tray. That way, if it needs to get inspected, it's its own thing. So obviously oversized electronics like laptops, anything over the size of a phone are allowed. However, when you're going through the checkpoint, most people completely ignore the instructions they repeat over and over and over again. According to the TSA agent, most of the time, this is what's going to pull stuff out of the bag. So if you have an oversized electronic, again, anything over the size of a phone, so that's going to be your iPads, that's going to be your tablets, that's going to be your Amazon Kindles, your e-readers, all that stuff needs to be pulled out of the bag and put in its own tray or separated from the bag. Again, it's going to hold your bag up. It's going to have to be pulled out because when they scan these machines, they can't see through them or it looks like something that it's not. So again, help the TSA agents out, pull it. Otherwise, they will pull your bag aside and have to inspect it. Depending on where your item is within the bag, it may cause some trouble. So pack that thing at the top because you know it's going to have to be pulled out when you get there. And just be nice to your TSA agents. They're just doing their job and trying to keep you safe. So just work with them. They have to do what they have to do. So look, you think I wouldn't have to talk about the last final trip up item, but believe it or not, weapons is a huge item that trips people up at the airport. Apparently every day people try to bring guns, knives, OC spray, all that stuff through the airport. They're just not going to let it. Now, there is a process for bringing a firearm on a plane in your luggage that you put under the plane. However, definitely check on the rules on that. Follow the TSA website guidelines. I would also recommend you check your local laws where you're going to go. If you take a gun from Texas, for example, to New York, you might get in trouble by just bringing the gun there in general. So make sure to check all that. Definitely check some legal advice on it, but guns are just probably something you should leave at home, and definitely check and double check your bag regardless. So one thing about the firearms is that pre-check does not mean you skip security. Apparently a lot of guns try to come through pre-check. It is pretty much the same thing as security. It's just the Disney Fast Pass version of that with a couple of perks. Don't bring a gun, they're going to check it, and you will be permanently kicked out of that program. Look, I hope these tips have helped you through your next TSA checkpoint. Just make sure to check and double check your bag, and I hope you enjoy your next travels.